Wednesday. Thank you for joining me here tonight. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for the beginning crafter. And I am here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. That's 9:30 Eastern and 6:30 Pacific. It's a time where we can relax and craft for about an hour, and I work on projects from beginning to end, so you can be part of the whole process along the way and craft with me. So you guys, we are working on the Swan embroidery. This is our progress so far. This is my embroidery of the month this year, or this month. It's the first embroidery of the month that I've ever done, and we will be doing a new one each month. So this guy will be in the shop just for the month. Here's the finished one. It's available as a pattern and as a bundle where you get the pattern and a bunch of stuff to make it and some fun extras. So it is this when it's done, and we are this far on it. We have a little stick and stitch wash away interfacing here. That comes with the bundle. It's pre-printed for you, so all you have to do is stick it on. Yep, I got the fireplace going behind me tonight. It's just a sit by the fire. I've been stuck in the radius all evening. The radius is that like 2-foot area around the fireplace that you just can't leave because it's too warm, too nice there. So awesome, you guys. Let's continue on this. I think we can finish. I think we can get real close to almost completely done. I think maybe we'll have to do, let's see. I think we probably maybe have another like half of our time tomorrow. I'm totally just guessing. I think for sure we'll get the satin stitch, the face done. We'll do that, and then we'll work on the lily pads and everything from there and just see where we get. Maybe we'll get done. We will see. So we'll definitely finish this week, and I want to show you how to take the Fabrisolvy off as well and how to press it when you're done. Just especially if you guys are working from the bundle, because you'll have that Fabrisolvy on, and I want to show you how that works. So all right, you guys, I'm going to flip you around so we can get started here. Thank you again for joining me, everyone. All right, I got my iPad here with the pattern open, and that's just so I can see the stitches and the colors. I just have that by me, and I'm going to go here. Ooh, if you were stitching onto a sweatshirt, Gretchen, you know, this might actually work pretty well, the stick and stitch, because you can print right onto the stick and stitch and then just stick it to the sweatshirt. I would maybe have an additional stabilizer on the back for the sweatshirt, just because it's a stretchy kind of jersey knit fabric sweatshirts, and it's actually pretty difficult to stitch through by hand. So if you ask someone wherever you buy it, like what's the best for stitching on a sweatshirt, they make special stabilizers for like t-shirts and sweatshirts. So I would get one of that and maybe putting it on the back, and then this for the front, just specifically so you can get the pattern right on there. But that'd be fun to do sometime. We should do some stitching on a t-shirt and play with some interfacing and stuff, just to give that a try. All right, you guys, we are going to start off with the satin stitch, and I'm going to get real low here just so you can see for a sec. We're going to talk about it a little bit. So, all right, that is the area. This area up here I want to be black, and this will be orange. So now here is how I've satin stitched this one. I've gone in like a vertical direction. So you can go in that direction. I suspect I did it like that so I'd have a nice cut line here. But another way you could do it is you could actually go in like a horizontal direction. So I thought maybe just so we can see the difference, I would do a horizontal direction on here. And then when I'm done, we can look at it and see kind of what we like better. There's no right or wrong. like I said, I try and think through it a little bit beforehand, and I suspect I did this because, my last stitch is a nice vertical stitch there that's really going to set a crisp divide between that orange and the black. However, going the other direction, I might have a real nice pointy beak and a pointy little bit up there. So there's benefits to both, I suspect. So let's take a look at this a little bit closer. I'm just going to grab a pencil so we can draw on it a little bit. So I'm thinking I'm just going to draw kind of the direction that I'm going to be stitching. And I want to get like a nice sharp point here. So like I want to stitch going like here to there, right? The other design I was going up and down like this. This one I want to go left to right just to give that a go. But here, so I could like go in this direction. I could go in this direction. I think what I'm gonna use as my guideline is I'm gonna connect this point to this point. So I think that about like that is gonna be my guide. So I'm gonna go, my first stitch is gonna be from this point to right there for the orange, and I'm gonna just fill in around, and I'm gonna do the same thing for the black. So all my stitches will be kind of parallel to that line. I think that's my plan for this. We'll see how it compares to the other one when I'm done here. So let's grab some thread. So I'll do the orange first, and then the black for no particular reason, other than I really want to stitch that orange. All right, sorry for the wiggle. I'm trying to get to stop there. Moving the camera up and down quite a bit. All right, so we cut this about our 24 inches yesterday. So I'm just going to grab that out. When we were doing the yellow, I just cut all the strands, all the colors all at once. So let's get our 3 strands out of here. 1. Again, I'm taking that 6-strand embroidery floss. You can see it all. You can even like bump the edge and it'll help separate it. I'm just grabbing whichever one seems like it's coming away from the others. There, like that. Holding the rest in between my fingers, and then I'm just pulling on that single one. It looks like it's going to be a big, crazy knot, but it actually is not at all, and it just loosens up at the end. I can just drag my finger through it, and it'll clean it up. All right, one more. There we go. So there's our 3 strands, and I am just going to smooth that out. On the other beat, did I start with this on the straight line? So for this one, I didn't go left to right. This one I went vertically. So I started, gosh, did I start at the point? I'm guessing I started at the middle right here, since that's the most defining line. And then I worked like the most obvious line, the most drawn out line. I had an actual line there to go by. So I went from here to there, and then just kept going until I got to that little itty bitty point. And in between this last stitch is just like, 2 little threads from the background. It's a very small stitch. So that's how I did this one. All right, let's combine these again. So I can just weave in to the back of some of these blue stitches. I don't have to start with a knot or an away knot and weave it in later. I can weave it in right now. Oh yes, Shauna, if you're asking about the bundle or the pattern, they are available till the end of December, or until they run out. I think I have maybe like 7-ish more bundles. So I don't have too many more, but yes, they are available till the end of the month. Why we've been talking about it a lot lately as like get it quick is because if you wanted it before we started stitching this, but it will still. Oh, I should have gone 1, 2, 3, so I end up over here. But if you still wanted it, it is still available until the end of the month, till the 30th. So I won't be shipping like the week of the week of Christmas, but I'll be shipping every day this week yet. The last day to kind of get it in time for Christmas was today, but I'll still be shipping tomorrow. So, and the bundle goes priority mail, so it might still get there before Christmas. Depending on how fast the post office is on top of it. But technically the post office has said that tomorrow should be good still. And I've been shipping orders out same day lately. All right. I think I will start in the middle here. I could start on this point. I suppose it doesn't really matter. Maybe I'll start on the point of the beak because I want to get this line as perfect as I can because I'm not, you're going to see the end of each of these stitches and I want them to kind of match up with this black side here. So maybe I'll start here because then I can be really precise. I can get right down. So I'm ending on that line and I'm going so it follows that stitch line. Oh, great, Gino, I'm happy that you got it. All right, so now for a satin stitch, I started here and I went to here. I'm going to start my next stitch back at the beginning again. So I never want to do it like a ladder. I don't want to go here to here and then here to here and then here to here. I always want to start from the edge that I began with. So this side, whatever is closest to here versus here. So I started here. I'm going to go back there, but I'm not going to come all the way out. I'm going to come out parallel to here, but on whatever the next edge of that line is. So I'm just going to kind of scooch up a hair, maybe about there. So I'm still on my black line. And I always kind of start, you can start on one side and work your way to the top. I always kind of start on that middle defining point. Like, to me, that point of the beak is most important and that I'm getting this line. So I started there. So I'll do this side and then I'll jump back and do this side. There's no huge rules, I don't think, in any of that. But that's what works for me. All right, so that's the second stitch. Let's get a little bit further down that line. Yeah, that seems as good a spot as any. And then on that middle line, well, that looks like about good. There's not really any more line to follow, so I think that's probably fine for the top. I'm going to jump back down here now and do the bottom bit. So the next spot after that point is about right there, I would say. This will be interesting to see how this ends up comparing to the other one. So I'm just going like literally like maybe 2 or 3, maybe not even, little threads. You know, you can see the threads of the fabric. I'm going like just, 1 or 2 of those over. So not at all. I want these stitches to be right next to each other. All right. And satin stitch is perfect for like itty bitty shapes like this. So we did do a little satin stitch video a month or 2 ago when we were stitching the alligator embroidery kit. That might be a good video to check out again. But I'm hoping to do a lot more focused videos like here's the satin stitch and just the different things to think about when you're doing it. So hopefully we'll make those up soon. But there we go. I think we're done with the orange there. think I hit all those points. So I'm going to weave it in. I'm calling that done. So let's, looks pretty in the back too, doesn't it? I'm going to weave that in. Oh yes, Shauna, it is that time of year. Oh my gosh, you guys. So I got cookies and this amazing granola from, like, homemade granola from a friend today, and I have literally, except for like 2 cookies, eaten it all. It was supposed to be meant to share, and I was like, ooh, these are delicious. I'm gonna bring one home for my mom to have too, and they are, I know by the end of the night they're gonna be gone. I'm not gonna be able to resist them anymore. It's just, I just can't have any of that around. Otherwise that will be like the only thing I eat. But it was like 14 cookies or something, and they are just gone. But they were these like circular cardamom cookies, and oh my god, just everything with some crusty sugar on the outside. So delicious. I could have eaten 100 of them easy. Maybe not that easy, but it would be. I cannot believe that I ate like it all already. All right, I'm just getting the black all prepped so we can do the black. Oh my gosh, they're just the best cookies. She made them last year too, and I'm gonna have to see if she'll part with the recipe, because I think they need to be made over Christmas. We gotta make them. Ugh. They might be a new favorite. There we go. Line up all these. Hi, Grace. Oh, you're home. Hopefully there's no snow there. All right, I'm gonna weave in the ends again here. I think I'll just go. Yeah, let's go underneath here. Just gonna leave a little end there. I'll trim that off. My third little bit. All right, now I'll trim these. Gosh, I'm like just thinking about those cookies. They're just so delicious. Okay. So same deal here. I'm gonna use this line. I think this is gonna be pretty. It's like the line is just gonna extend, but be the darker color. I think I'm gonna start at the point here again, and then go to this middle area, just because it'll be more precise. And then the other reason is that I will be pushing from up to down into these stitches instead of down to up from the other side, which will actually push these orange stitches down a little bit more. So I think that'll be better than like coming up the other way and maybe poking these orange stitches too much. So I'm going to start from the opposite end here at this point. I'm going to go into that eyeball a little bit too, actually. I think that eye is where we're going to do a little French knot when we're done here. But I want to make sure that it touches the French knot, so I'm just going a little bit into that eye. All right, and I drew that line, I think, a little bit low, so I'm going to just hover right on top of that line to stay parallel. And I am going to go in the exact same holes as these as much as I can, just because when I take this Fabrisolvi off and everything, I don't want like a white little line there. I want these to touch. So I'm going to just go into that hole right there. All right, there's our first line. I'm going to do the top again first. I'm going to try and go in the same hole. Oh, that white chocolate checks mixed up. Oh, see, dang, I wouldn't be able to have that around either. I love that stuff. But wow, there's something about these cookies. Oh, my mom just popped in. Mom, we're going to have to make these cardamom cookies. All right. So Oh gosh, I wonder if I do have two. I'm gonna have to run right when I'm done tonight here. Before we end it, I will go run and I'll show you these cookies. I mean, there's nothing really to see. They're like a white, they're like kind of, tan colored cookies with just some sugar on the outside. But apparently there's some lemon zest in it, and it does have just this cardamom um, taste. And it's not too sweet, and it's not bitter, it's not salty, it's just all the best of just everything. Yum, yum. I've also been watching a whole lot of the Great British Baking Show again. I actually watched all of them from the beginning again, and I'm on the last season again. So that's got all that baking stuff on the mind. Oh, you did the orange in the black part too. Oh, it depends how you want your swan to look, I suppose. But yeah, luckily that if you wanted to take it out, it's not really a big area, and you could just. I wouldn't even bother like trying to save the thread or anything. It's such a small amount of thread. I would just, if you want to redo it, I would just cut it out and start with fresh thread. I've done that before, though, for sure. All right, just a few more bits in here. Oh, this is just really neat. It has a different. I'm just glancing at the old one. It does have a different feel. This one feels like it has some like whoosh motion to it because it's like he's swimming fast through the water or something because of the angle of these compared to the other one. So it's pretty interesting. We'll get to that in a moment here. I think this will probably be my last stitch. Then we'll get that eyeball, and then we'll be done with this black. Should I get another one in there? I think we're good there. All right, I'm gonna do that French knot. Start on that one side of the eyeball right there. Set it down. We'll do our two twists, like pointing away from the fabric. Grab those loops and then point towards the fabric. Then don't go in the same hole. I go on the other side of the dot. And then you go halfway in with your needle. Then you can lift up. Pull so your loops are against that, against the fabric. Then I hold it down with my thumb, and then I pull it through slowly. That's my deal for French knots. Move it in place a little bit. There we go. That looks great, I think. All right, so I'm going to weave in those ends, and then we'll take a look at that really quick, and then we'll try and crank out some of these lily pads next, I think. But this is it for the swan. So the body and the crown of the swan are done. And you guys, if you still want this pattern or the bundle and you forget before the end of the month, I will send a reminder email just in case. So as long as you're checking your emails and getting my emails yet, if you forget, there'll be another one go out. Although it's around all the holidays, so if you're not checking your email, then just let me know. All right, so here are the two different versions. So now you can see it. Let me try and grab them a little. Here, why don't I just set it down and we'll go in this way. So we're moving around a little bit. But here you can see we went the other direction. So it looks like quite a few more stitches going vertical. And then this is going to horizontal. But look, they do kind of have quite a different feel, don't they? This just feels like it's got more action involved in it for some reason. I don't know, that's just how I'm feeling about it. Compared to this one, where it just looks like he's just lounging in one spot. I don't know. And, maybe they'll look a little different once we get the Fabricelli off, but, they're both totally fine. I don't necessarily like one above the other. But yeah, so, if you wanted to try either one of these, this is what they look like. Gosh, I really don't know which one I like better. just this looks like more of like a quick gesture, I feel like. Maybe because it's more, I don't know, got less stitches and more pointed stitches. I don't know. But anyway, let's keep going. It's kind of fun to see though. It'll be neat once we get the Fabrisoldi off, for sure. Then we can really compare the two. All right, scooching on here. So I think I like to get the things done that make me feel like I've done a lot of work. So I think I'm gonna work on these lily pads next, and this one here and this one here are the same color, and they're also the same color as these wings. So maybe we'll get that color done real quick here. So let's just take a look at the design again. So I'm talking about that guy here. Oop, come on back here. So, oh goodness. Oop. That guy, and then the wings up there. So we'll do that next, I think. All right, and that is the lighter green. Okay, where are you? Oh, in this little bit here. So I'm going to pull these apart. Oh, I think I have a lighter pink in here than I thought. That'll be cute too. Oh no, I used that. Never mind. I thought I had the wrong color pink in here, but it's the right color pink. Okay, so I just cut all those at once just because it's easier, and I always kind of stitch with the 24 inches, so it's fine if I cut it now. Light green. Grab that out of there. Let's get the 3 strands. All right. 1, 2. This actually is really fast doing it this way. 3. Okay. Put them back together. Ooh, shimmery thread for the dragon. Oh, that would be cute if the dragonfly wings were shimmery and like the crown were shimmery. Actually, this whole thing would actually be really fun. Completely metallic floss. Ooh, shimmery water. Gosh, if any embroidery is all metallic, this one would be just really good for that. That would be fun. Ooh, it would be neat to do a version like that for sure. Okay, so now I have a decision. I could either weave in the ends here and make that little bit of a jump to get started here. Then you would, in theory, be able to see this little jump here. Or I could start this color completely fresh with an away knot that we weave in later. I think I'm just gonna stitch it in or weave in the ends here and jump. However, when I do this one, I'll probably start with an away knot, do those loops, and then weave it in later, because from here to here seems like a bigger jump than I want to make. And here too, I might start with a fresh, away knot as well. I just don't like when there's huge jumps from one bit to another, so I just kind of try and avoid that. Here, we're just going to weave in the ends here. One. Get my 3 turns. Oh, and about the flowers on these, the flowers appear kind of on top of the lily pad, like in front of our outline here. So I'm doing those after. Those would be pretty difficult it would be difficult to stitch this green if I had to get out of the way of those loops on here. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, I'm stitching this line first because it's behind. Like, if this was a physical, real space, this lily pad, this flower, the lily, would be in front of this back of the pad there. So I'm going to do the back of the pad, that line first, and then I'll do these flowers on top. And the same thing for the other one. So I will come back to those. Oh, I might just pull the thread all the way out. Snagged on my finger. So I'm just doing back stitch for this again. pretty little back stitch. Yeah, I think all these little bits will go pretty quick. So it does look like we'll be stitching tomorrow yet. It's already 5 after 9, but I think it will go pretty quickly. We might even get to do the Fabricelli tomorrow. I'll have some water on standby in case we do the Fabricelli tomorrow. It'd be great to get that far. Because if that's the case, then on Friday we could like decorate the hoop or something. Oh wait, I was gonna make this into a bag or something. Suppose I'm nearing that decision, aren't I? The need to make that decision. So I have to decide if I'm gonna make like a little zipper pouch, or I wanted to quilt this a little bit is actually what I wanted to do. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll just actually set this aside once we're done with it. And I think maybe I want to play around with hand quilting around the edge of it, like around, like around and around and around. Or maybe I even put a pretty background in it, just all hand quilting, and then turn it into something like a little bag or pillow or something. But I want to maybe have this be my practice hand quilting when I get my thimble. That fancy thimble that I ordered from Thimble Lady. Maybe I'll set this aside and bring it back out when I get that thimble and we can play around with that. I think that's my plan. Still have to decide what I'm making, but I think this would be a good little practice for that thimble. Last stitch on here. We'll weave in that end. I think for sure we'll finish all this green tonight, though. Yeah, there's going to be hardly anything to do tomorrow. I'll get the water out. We'll take the Fabricelli off and iron it tomorrow too. Just weave in this little corner here. It does get a little more difficult to weave in the ends when you're close to the hoop, and this is why you can't get down in there very easily. I can always move the hoop, but I don't want to do that. All right, I have enough thread on here, I think, to do another lily pad. Do I, though? Maybe we'll do the Dragonfly Wings. So I'm going to tie a knot. I am going to do an away knot for this. I don't really have all that much thread, so I think I'll just do those 4 little lazy daisies for the Dragonfly and do that. So I'm going to put the away knot about, 3 or 4 inches, far enough away from where I'm going to start so that if I imagine that that's the length of thread, it's enough for me to weave in the ends later. So I think this is a good spot. And I want it away from wherever I'm going to stitch. Oh, Pamela, I'm so happy you liked it. So I'm starting from the front. There's the little knot. That's going to stay there for a moment. And let's do some lazy daisy stitches. So we're doing this the exact same way we did these couple of feathers, except for the points. Like these end points don't match, and these ones they do. They come to the same point. So I'm going to just go down in that same point. Ooh, I'm going to have barely enough thread to do this too. But, hopefully there's enough. So I'm making kind of that loop shape. That's similar to the stitch, the drawing, and we're going to come up at that farthest peak right there. Leave it kind of loose so it looks like that loopy wing yet. I don't want it too tight, and we'll just put that little like that anchoring stitch to tack down the end there. That's pretty cute. All right, there's going to be a lot of stitches coming up from this one little hole here. Oh my gosh, you guys, I might not have enough floss for this. This is probably a bad idea. Let's see if we can force it. Looks nice and loopy. All right, let's get those other two there. Again, I'm so gonna run out of floss. Can I really leave like one line here? Ugh. Gosh, I might have barely enough. You think I would have learned my lesson from last night, but maybe last night me just having enough made me feel like I could take the risk. I don't know. All right, this is gonna be a challenge, this last one, but I think we're gonna go for it here. All right, one tiny stitch. I could have made my away knot here a bit less too, but I thought I'd need that to weave it in. I thought I had enough, but come up through there. Just enough to grab that loop. Now to see if I have enough to weave it in. Oh gosh, can I even get my anchoring stitch? Gosh, I'm barely in there. Yep, this was a poor idea, but we did it. Almost. I want to kind of loosen that up a little bit. All right, I think that's fine. All right, let's flip this around. So I am going to just kind of grab, I'm going to actually go backwards because I don't have enough thread to go all the way to the point. So I'm going to just use the eye. I'm going to start at the eye instead. And I'm just going to kind of grab as much as I can here. I might not be able to get all three, but then I might, with this thread, I might try and just tack it down a little bit more. All right, so I went through once. I'm going to have to re-thread it. I'm going to grab a bunch of threads first. Try and get through this knotty area. All right, let's see if I can re-thread this. I'm going to have to trim it to you. Oh, your husband works for an ice cream bakery candy company. Holy moly. That is intense. Yeah, that would be difficult for me for sure. Oh, I wouldn't be able to eat anything but that stuff. I'm threading this the opposite way than I usually do. All right, you know what? I think, why don't we pull out the little needle threader here? Every time you use a needle threader, I think right now would fit the bill. There we go. Can you maneuver this? All right. Pull it through. There we go. So I'm just going to get this second one in. I don't think I'm going to do a third, even though I don't like doing just the two, but luckily I will be going over it with this one, so I think we'll be okay, and I'll just leave it a little bit longer. There we go. I'm just going to snip this off here. That knot's on the other side, but that'll just fall off. This is actually not that much to weave in. It's tough, Leslie. All that candied ice cream pastries floating around. Oh my gosh. Oh, that would be a huge issue. All right, let's weave in. Let's try and weave this one in 3 times. All right, there we go. So this is kind of locking down those other stitches as well, so hopefully they don't come out. All right. That was a close one there. All right, I'm gonna just grab that other green thread yet, because we have that one other lily pad to do. One other this colored lily pad.
All right, and I think I'm going to start with an away knot again, just because this is kind of still a bigger jump than I'd like to make. So I'm not going to weave in the ends here and jump. I'm going to start fresh in a whole new area. Especially since this is white fabric, and you might be able to see that fabric from, you might be able to see the floss through if you're doing lots of jumps back and forth. There's no real start or end to this. It's just an oval, so I'm just going to go right there. Gosh, there's 15 minutes yet. We might actually still finish this tonight. Oh, I got that little chain stitch up on top. Gosh, we might just push through. There's not much left here. Speed stitching, how about that? I think next we'll do the little pink flowers. Let's do this. We'll do the little water last, just because that seems like a nice ending point. So let's do the flowers next. Then we'll do the little body. We can't forget that. It's kind of hanging out there, waiting for me to forget about it. And then we'll do the little ripples. That's just a little quick running stitch. I like this kind of light green color. I feel like I can breathe again now that I got those silly little dragonfly wings done. That would be really pretty with like some shimmery, either some shimmery green or purple or blue metallic. That would be fun to do the wings in that color. Alright, I think we'll just do, we'll do 3 stitches. 2 seams. Nope, I'm going to do 2 big stitches. They're going to be covered up by that flower anyway. It was kind of, I could have gone either way, 2 stitches or 3 stitches. I think it would have looked about the same. Alright, there we go. Let's weave in those ends. Oh, it's so pretty in the back. Okay. Oh, and we got this other one to weave in. I forgot about that. We did the away knot here, so let's get that one. Oops, missed. There we go. All right, we'll get that pink. Next. There it is, coming along. All right, pink flowers. I got this cut already. I just need to get my 3 strands out of it. And I mean, you could really use however many strands you want. And you can vary the strands too. Like you could, if I wanted, I could make these flowers like heftier, use 6 strands or something maybe. But we used 3 for the rest of it, so we'll just stick with that. That just changes the thickness of the stitch. So if you want like a fatter stitch, then you could do more amount of strands. That'd be one way to get a fatter stitch. The other way would be to use a different stitch that ends up looking a little fatter. Oh, I'm excited about January's January's embroidery as well. I'm super duper excited about it actually. So I'm working on it tonight. I'm getting the store listing for it together tonight, It won't be live till January 1st, but I'm getting it all prepped. All right, 3. Trim those little ends off. Okay, so now this is just another like lazy daisy stitch. So this is just like the Dragonfly Wings. So we're just kind of making that shape of our loop, the same shape as the design here. Then coming up in the middle at that highest peak, the middle of our loop that we're making. And that is 1. And remember to keep them loose. If you pull too tightly, then it'll just look like a thick line, like 2 straight lines next to each other. We want that little teardrop loop on top there. Like one of my strands got a little loose or tighter than the others. There, we want that like U shape. Okay. Gosh, I think I'll have just enough for those others. They take up a lot of space, or a lot of thread, those lazy daisies. Thanks, Kathy. Yeah, I'm really liking how this guy's turning out. One more through, and that lily pad's done. Oh, we have a whole nother lily pad to do. I'm completely forgetting about a lily pad, aren't I? We have that dark colored lily pad. Oh well, let's finish these 2 light green ones first. We'll just weave into this end right away, since that's where our next one is. Ugh, I'm paranoid about this now. Since I have another pink thread right here, I'm going to just get this longer thread. Paranoid about not having enough floss here. Just like those dragonfly wings. This one has 1 more loop on too. This flower has 4 petally guys on it. Ooh, that looks like a mess. Let's separate that up. Oh, this just got looped around itself. All right, trim this. Still looks like I have a little knot there, but I think we're fine. All right, let's get these lazy daisies. Let's drop the needle there. Oh, Patricia, that would be so cool. Yes, I definitely want to see what you guys do with these throughout the year and stuff too. All right. 2 more after this. Yeah, by the end of the year, we're going to have all these embroideries done, or like half-started projects that involve embroidery. That's like what this one's going to end up being. If I hand quilt it, like throw some batting on the back and another piece of fabric and hand quilt it and then turn it into something. Who knows when that'll be done. Ooh, a little fairy house thing in Princess and Swan. Oh, that would be fun. This pink and green is really pretty together here. Those are like some classic colors to have together, I think. Last one here. All right, I don't think we're gonna finish tonight. I think we'll go one more day because I did forget about that lily pad there. So we'll I kind of want to let's get that lily pad out of my hair. Let's do that first. I was gonna say I wanted to do the dragonfly. I've been kind of itching to do that, but that's a whole other stitch. Why don't we just finish up this lily pad? And then tomorrow, we'll be doing 2 completely different stitches than what we've done so far. So tomorrow, and then we'll do the Fabricelli. We'll take this Fabricelli, the stick and stitch. We'll take this stick and stitch stabilizer off tomorrow, and then I'm going to do this now, this lily pad. But tomorrow we'll do this little line here, and that'll be a chain stitch, just a tiny little couple bits of chain stitch. And then this is a running stitch. So those are 2 stitches we haven't done here yet. I mean, they're very similar to some of the stitches we've done here, but they're a little bit different. So great, 2 new stitches tomorrow, and then we'll finish this up tomorrow. We'll take the Fabricelli off, and then we will iron it, and it'll be a done embroidery tomorrow. It won't be a finished something yet. I don't know what I'm gonna make out of it yet. Okay, here's the dark green. It looks like I have piece cut already. Let's grab our 3 strands and we will finish the night with this lily pad done. Or all the lily pads done. Okay. This is easy enough. A couple back stitches and done. And we can weave in the ends to this green that's already there. Easy peasy. Okay, yep, let's weave in some ends. Try and get a few more threads here. Back this way. Alright, and I'll trim those little bits that are hanging out here so they don't get stuck in my stitching. Alright, flip it around and we're ready to go. Again, there's no real beginning or end here. So, okay, now here's another example of stitching the things behind first. So this lily pad's in front of this lily pad. So I want to make sure that my stitch covers up, this spot right here. So I'm not coming out on the same spot as there. I'm coming off a little to the side so I can cover up that spot. And that just gives it the look of being in front of that other green. So this dark green is actually physically in front of that light green, which is going to just help in the effect of that this lily pad is in front of that other lily pad. So I'll make sure to do that at this point too. I'll on purpose kind of mentally measure my stitches so that I end up in a spot that will cover that up. So I'm going to go just on the other side of that stitch, like right there, I think. It's not the same hole, I'm just near it. I want that effect again of being in front. There we go. And our last little stitch here. Yeah, I'll do this in 2 stitches. I could probably just do it in 1 big stitch, but we're going to do 2, just to keep it similar to the size of my other stitches. This is a pretty green. This is like a nice Emerald City green. I think we got pretty dang far tonight. We finished all that satin stitching. That can take a while, and all of our lazy daisy stitches and the lily pads. That's pretty good. So, like I said, tomorrow we'll start off with the couple chain stitches to finish that dragonfly, and yeah, put this little bit of water down here and little ripples. So that's a different color blue. There's a slightly darker blue in here. And I mean, you know, you can do whatever color you want, but if you're doing the bundle colors, it's that darker, slightly darker than the teal here, blue. I think we'll do 2 stitches to finish this up. Definitely making progress on here. All right, great. Exactly, Bonnie. All right, I'm gonna weave this in and see what we got. Yeah, we'll definitely compare those beaks again. This one compared to the one that I did prior. Once we take the stick and stitch off, just because then we'll be comparing it more, you know, apples to apples. But yeah, it'll just be neat to see the different direction of the satin stitch. Oh, I do not have fabric picked out for the granny square quilt yet, but I'll be using from my stash for sure. So maybe we'll take a look at that too at some point here. All right, there's our little beak. And yeah, we are just about there. So like I said, we'll just do a couple chain stitches here, and that will be in that same orange color. And then these little ripples, I think that'll be a nice way to end it with the little ripples there. Oh, don't forget to show you the cookie. Okay, I will run and get it right now. Give me a second. Okay, yeah. So here it is. There are like literally 2 left. It was a stack this high, 2 stacks this high, but so it's got cardamom in it and it like lemon zest, and it's just so good. I could eat 1,000 of them. So good. But literally, this whole bag was full, and I ate them all this afternoon. And gosh, those 2, I should probably actually hide those 2 that are left. I'm gonna flip you guys around. Danger. They're danger, those cookies. But yeah, so I have to get the recipe because they are so good. That cardamom, just like that flavor in there. Perfect. All right, you guys. So here we are, just about done. So this didn't take that long. It's only Wednesday today, so 3 leisurely hours so far. I call these this size, you know, just that kind of outline sort of embroidery. They're like 2 movie projects. So another, I don't know, 15 minutes tops, and we'll be done with the embroidery on this. Yeah, so then tomorrow we'll also take off the stick and stitch, that sticker here, with water. I have no idea what they're called, Robin. I'm gonna have to find that out too. All right, you guys. Awesome. So, like I said, there are still bundles available, and they're available till the end of the month. Then they just go away. Then the Swan won't be available anymore. There are also PDF patterns if you wanted to start right away, and if you have all the supplies already. So yes, and if you do want the bundle, that comes with the pattern, the digital pattern. So you don't have to buy both of them. So awesome, you guys. Thank you again for joining me here. I will get this up on YouTube tonight yet, and we'll finish it up tomorrow. We're going to have a free day on Friday, so we'll have to bring something else out here to work on. I am getting real close to being done with the quilting on the jean quilt though too, so maybe we can bring that out and finish it up. That'd be cool. So awesome, you guys. Have a great rest of your evening or afternoon here, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.